Good morning, my dear friends. Welcome to our class again. Today we are going to continue what we left yesterday. Okay, we were discussing socio-economic reforms, and then after completion of socio-economic reforms, we started general survey of various social economic reforms movement, right? So in socio-economic reforms, we discussed the situation of women and the caste-ridden society, and then what efforts were taken by our various social reformers, some organization set up to uplift the status of women. So these were the topic of discussion in yesterday's class. After completion of that topic, we started general survey. In that general survey, we studied about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and then the organization means Brahmo Samaj established by him. Okay, we also saw the bifurcation in Brahmo Samaj. What was the reason? How Kesav Chandra Sen and then Debendranath Tagore separated from Brahmo Samaj, okay, and then formed their own branch of Brahmo Samaj. And we saw the ideologies of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, various ideologies, at how he was, trying to bring the modernity in Indian society, trying to bring the rationalization among the people, trying to bring, trying to reform the bad practices or practices which were not good at that point of time in Hinduism, right? So these things we have discussed, and I hope you might have watched the video, if not present online. If not, so as I am requesting in every class, today also I would say keep watching videos. It is good for you, at least that we can say. So let's, if you want to me, just get the just repeat what we have covered yesterday, just revise what we have covered yesterday. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy, his work like Gift of Monothesis and one second. Yes. So percepts of Jesus, you need to understand the timeline when it was written. That is also important, right? So his ideology like monotheism, rationality, right? Separate the moral and philosophical message of the New Testaments. So it's not like that Raja Ram Mohan Roy was trying to reform only Hindu religion. Whatever prevalent religion, like whatever some not so good aspect of any religion were there, so he was trying to reform those religions, like adultery, okay, and then believing in one God, removing adultery, okay, removing the influence of priests, making people aware that priestlyhood is not the only thing, right? So I have given you examples also to show that how much people put faith on any priest even today, right? And also I told you that he is considered as the father of Indian Renaissance. Indian Renaissance means bringing up the changes, or coming up the changes in Indian society. Changes, what kind of changes? Changes when people started thinking rationally, okay. Changes when people started having scientific temper, changes when people started questioning the establishment, okay, whatever the norms, general norms were there, people started questioning it, right? Basically they were attacking religion, and the in case of west there was influence of church. So when Renaissance came or started in western society, so apart from religion they started questioning the authority of church also. But here church was not prominent in India, so here people started questioning the authority of prevalent is religion like Hindu, right? So these kind of things were considered as the bringing of or coming up of Renaissance, right? Now we saw the effort at social reform. So he worked for upliftment of status of women, for the cause of peasants, for better administration, and at the end for education also. So these are the things, you know, that in society, very important things which which are affected or which affects common people. Common people, what they want good infrastructure, good education, their status in society must be respected, okay, the chance for economic opportunities. So all these things which were not easily prevalent in Indian society. So Raja Ram Mohan Roy fought for this, right? Anti-sati struggle, and then condemned practice of Bengali zamindari, then indigenization of civil services. Indigenization means he wanted to, or everyone at that point of time wanted to have Indians also in the administration, right? Now we discussed about Brahmo Samaj. Brahmo Samaj established in year 1828 by Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and it focused on prayers, meditation, reading of the scriptures, right, and unity of all religion. Religion is a major point of discussion in today's society. Politics of many political parties are based on religion, right? So you see that what is the role of religion, and religion is very dear to person's individual's life also, if he is believer in any religion, right? His behavior, his actions, his ethics and his moralities are driven by religion, right? You must be aware about this. If he is suffering from any hardship in life, so what he says that God is testing him, right, or her, कि अभी भगवान परीक्षा ले रहे हैं, and ये जो है this ideology gives them hope, right? So religion का ये impact है किसी person की life में, and it's not about any particular religion. Everyone gives or has belief over or upon his or her God, जिसको भी वो मानता है, right? First intellectual reform movement in modern India, what? Brahmo Samaj. It led to emergence of rationalism and enlightenment. Rationalism, I told you in last class, means you must have the ability to differentiate right among right and wrong, right? That is rationalism, rationality, right? What is wrong, what is right, you must be able to understand this, and what is the consequence if you do anything or if you commit anything wrong, right? So this is rationality. And enlightenment, enlightenment we hear generally when we read about Buddha, that Buddha got enlightenment at this particular space at this point of time, right? So enlightenment means you're knowing the reality, right? Okay, this is the real reason behind this. This is the actually what should objective of any religion, objective of any cause, objective of anything, right? That is called enlightenment, right? And in religious term, enlightenment though, it means like being aloof from worldly desires. That is basically enlightenment. You need to understand that here you are here for in earth, you are for what? You are for welfare of all, right? You are a human being. If you don't have any desire, so you will not have any sufferings. Ideas of Buddhism basically. And long-term agenda of Brahmo Samaj was to purify Hinduism, to preach monotheism, was based on the twin pillar of reasoning, rationality, reason, and Vedas, right? So good Vedas, he interpreted Vedas actually. Vedas, that people nowadays they give reasoning that it is written over our Vedas now when they want to prove any point. But let me tell you, they are not aware about the Vedas. They are not aware about the teaching of Vedas. What is real meaning of Vedas? Because Vedas are vast literatures, right? It's not like it's not like small books where you can read and you can understand. So he read it and translated some of them, translated Upanishad, and presented the real meaning of Vedas, what is the real saying of the Vedas in front of people. Then features, denounced polytheism, same cheese, idol worship, discarded faith in divine avatars, incarnation, which is prominent feature of Hindu mythology, Then it denied the scripture could enjoy the status of ultimate authority, transcending human reason and conscience. It took no definite stand on doctrine of karma and transmigration of soul, and left it to individual Brahmas to believe either way, right? So this is important. And if you believe in the philosophy of karma or transmigration of transmigration of souls means in Gita it is said that body dies, soul never dies. Soul transfer from one body to another body. That is basically transmigration of soul, and it criticized the caste system. These were the features of what? Brahma Samaj. Evolution, you see, let me clear it from here, that Debendranath Tagore, right? We know that Brahma Samaj was established in 1828. Then Debendranath Tagore, who is Debendranath Tagore? Father of Rabindranath Tagore, and we know very clearly that who is Rabindranath Tagore, right? And the very famous work of his Gitanjali, for which he got Nobel Prize in Literature in year, I think you must be knowing year also, if you not, then year 1913, right? First Nobel Prize from anyone from India. Then Tagore headed the Tattvabodhini Sabha and Tattvabodhini Patrika in Bengal, right? So he was member of Brahma Samaj also, and joined the Brahma Samaj in 42, sorry. Kesav Chandra Sen, right? So in 1858 he was made the Acharya by Debendranath Tagore. So one kind of question can be, who joined first? So Debendranath Tagore joined first, and then later on Kesav Chandra Sen was made what? In 1858 the Acharya of Brahma Samaj, right? So he popularized the movement, and branches of Samaj were opened outside Bengal. So what is the contribution of Kesav Chandra Sen? That he extended the branches of Brahma Samaj outside the Bengal, so that the teachings of Brahma Samaj can be further expanded, right? But because of his cosmopolitan approach, he was dismissed from office of Acharya, and Kesav Chandra Sen founded the Brahma Samaj of India in 1866, and Debendranath known as Adi Brahma Samaj. So this is important. You need to have clear understanding that who started whom. Adi Brahma Samaj, why? Adi Brahma Samaj by whom? Debendranath Tagore. Debendranath Tagore, and then Brahma Samaj by Kesav Chandra Sen. Okay, and Sadharan Brahma Samaj, later on it converted into Sadharan Brahma Samaj in 1878. So this is very much important, no? Can be asked in the examination. Then Sadharan Brahma Samaj, you see, started by Anand Mohan Bose. Anand Mohan Bose and Shiv Chandra Dev and Umesh Chandra Dutt, who were the follower of Kesav Sen. So obviously, if they were the follower of Kesav Chandra Sen, so they will change the name of the organization of Kesav Chandra Sen itself, right? They can't change the organization or the branch headed by Debendranath Tagore. So that is one correlation we can have in our mind. Significance we have discussed in yesterday's class in quite much detail, and then today we'll start with Prarthana Samaj. Very important, can be asked in the examination. All the things about this, all the information about Prarthana Samaj, who founded it, when it was founded, okay, and then when was it founded basically, and also what were the teachings of Prarthana Samaj, right? And beliefs of Prarthana Samaj that we have to understand. So let's start about Prarthana Samaj. So established in Bombay by Dr. Atmaram Panduranga in 1876, right, with the objective of rational worship and social reform. So basically all of the organization in this point of time are talking about rationality, okay, social reform. So that is the common feature. If you don't remember anything while writing in the examination, you have this in your mind, right? So 1876 is the year, Bombay is the place, and Atmarang Pandurange is the person who established Prarthana Samaj. Was the precursor of Prarthana Paramhans Sabha. Paramhans Sabha, before this the name was Paramhans Sabha, okay, but we will basically focus on Prarthana Samaj. Mahadev Govind Ranade, MG Ranade joined Samaj in year 1870, right? MG Ranade was one of the economists who criticized the economic policies of British government along with Dada Bhai Nauroji, G. Subramaniam Iyer, okay. So he was one of the person who made people aware that what is the reality of British economic policies. So Prarthana Samaj was very attached to the Bhakti cult of Maharashtra. Okay, so basically all the person who joined Prarthana Samaj, who propagated the idea of Prarthana Samaj, were belonging from Maharashtra, and Bhakti, they were basically supporter of Bhakti cult of Maharashtra. 4 point of social agenda: disapproval of caste system, women's education, widow remarriage, raising the age of marriage for both males and females, right? So nothing new here. We have discussed in detail that common, same as social reformers, agenda is same as all social reformers. Also same, you can say same as Brahma Samaj. Here one thing is added in additional, that raising the age of marriage for both males and females. So if you remember our class before yesterday, where we discussed the age of consent bill, okay, child marriage was one of the issue which was prominent, and it was raised by social reformers. So with the help of B.M. Malabari, okay, we had age of consent bill, where the age was decided for the for girl to get married is 12 years, right? Was 12 years, right? So you can understand that 12 years is still a lower age for girls to get married. So he was talking for raising the age further, right? Finally the age was raised in year 1929, but here you see that we are talking about the period of 1876, right? So clarity must be there, clarity of timeline must be there, that before that what you can understand here, that okay, age of girls getting married raised in year from age of consent age act, okay. Then there was more effort by whom? By Prarthana Samaj. So more pressure was put on whom? Britishers, because they were the real policy makers at that point of time. So by their efforts, more pressure, finally the age was raised further in year 1929. So that chronology, that must be clear in your mind. D.K. Karve, his full name Dhondo Keshav Karve, and Vishnu Shastri were the champions of social reform. They also joined Prarthana Samaj. So one thing I would like to say, that important thing you can note it down from here, or it will be there in Spectrum publication, right? Spectrum book. So you can it depends on you. It will be your call that what you want to do, but I would suggest first listening is very much important, because here you are applying your one more senses, because reading your mind is there, here you are watching the video and also listening what I am saying. So the probability of retaining the information is high when your three senses are working here, right? Now little bit about Mahadev Govind Ranade. He was the founder of Widow Remarriage Association in 1861 and the Deccan Education Society, right? So we used to get a question like this in UPSC, where in matchmaking kind questions, this Widow Remarriage Association will be there, and in front of him, in front of this organization, the name can be either MG Ranade, or it can be what? It can be, let's say, Atmaram Panduranga. Right, Pandurang. So, and you have to find which of the following is correct match, and option will be one only or one and two only. But since last 2 years, UPSC has started giving question like option like only one pair is correct, only two pair, like that. Okay, so you need to have exact correct information. So this kind of thing you need to remember, that who started what, right? To be precise. And to Ranade, religion reform was inseparable from social reform, right? So his idea was, if you want to reform society, so first you have to reform religion. That is very much that is true today also, right? True today also. First reform religion, then society will be reformed. Why so? Because religion plays a lot of important role in people's behavior, action, belief, okay, family, culture, everything is guided by religion. So that's why I explained you just at the beginning of the class. He also believed that if religion ideas were rigid, there would be no success in social, economic, and political sphere. So whatever we know, these things were said. That's why we are reading these people, right? The only thing is why we are reading. They said the reality. They said it. They they propagated it. They believed it. As simple as that. If you will start saying what is the truth, at first you might not be liked by people, but after saying the truth multiple times, people will get to know that he is the person of principle. He only talks about truth, okay, and then people will start believing on you. You will have credibility. So it goes that way. Although Prarthana Samaj was powerful, influenced by the ideas of Brahmo Samaj, it did not insist upon the rigid exclusion of idol worship and definite break from the caste system, right? So he was not, this ideas of Prarthana Samaj was not against idol worship. So these kind of information also you have to note it down. Why? Because it is asked in the UPSC previously in that way. And what was the ideas of any particular organization like Brahma Samaj or Prarthana Samaj. Next is Young Bengal movement. Very much important, Young Bengal movement and Henry Vivian Derozio, right? So what is Young Bengal movement? Basically, this H.V. Derozio, he was the Anglo-Indian and teacher at the Hindu College, was the leader inspired of this program, Young Bengal movement, late 1820s. Actually, this is not a kind of any organization that is started establishing from this point of time. It is a kind of movement. Ideas, they were spreading the ideas among youth of the college. They started from the college. He started from the college. Dorje promoted radical ideas through his teachings and by organizing an association for debate and discussion on literature, philosophy, history, and science. Right? So radical ideas were promoted. We also might have, encountered this kind of people in our school days or in colleges, or you might have heard about such kind of people. Or if you read in any coaching institute, so there you find that kind of teacher. One or two teacher used to be there. If you have found it, then it is good. If not, then you can find later on. So they teach. They talk about something else. They teach about some ideas, like I can't tell the name, but you might be aware about whom I am talking. He talks about how you have to behave if you are not getting selected. Then he motivates this kind of thing, and very famous nowadays. So radical thoughts are presented. Okay, people started liking him. Okay, so he started following him. That kind of thing was done by Henry Vivian Derozio. And they cherished the ideas of the French Revolution. French Revolution and the liberal thinking of Britain. This is very much important. French Revolution, idea of French Revolution, it is there in our constitution also. Okay, it gave a lot of support, it gave a lot of inspiration to our freedom struggle movement also, right? People always talk about French Revolution because it was a major break. Why? Because they started questioning the authorities, people who were taking part in the French Revolution, and they overthrew the powerful resign, and it first time it showed the power of masses, that what a mass can do. And finally, in Indian freedom struggle, we have the use of power of masses. The de Rosier also supported women's right and education. So basically, he was propagating religious ideas, women's right and education. He wanted to give it to everyone. The movement had very limited success. Due to limited success, why? Because if you start speaking against any establishment, so what the establishment is going to do. Okay, I am giving you many examples of present context because this is very much important. The learning is very dynamic now. Okay, you can't simply read whatever written over a text or textbook and then understand yourself that you can clear the examination. No, every examination nowadays are having one stage as interview, right? So in interview, they are going to judge your personality, and one of the basic how a personality will be very pleasant or very good personality is how much you are aware about surroundings. Despite all these things, everyone knows. Okay, if anybody is not preparing for the examination, I give him time. How are you preparing? You are giving full time for the preparation, right? Some might be working also, but basically people when they pass out from the college, they come and they give full time for the preparation. When they are giving full time for the preparation, it means they are reading something. So instead of if I give anybody else that you read this book, so he will have all the knowledge, but what will be the difference will be, right, how analytical your mind is. So here you have to understand that why anybody is not allowed to put up his radical thoughts. You take the example of very famous YouTuber from the Bihar. Now he is there in the jail in Tamil Nadu, right? You might be knowing that about whom I am talking. So he started putting up his radical ideas, and then I am not saying that he was right or he was wrong, but establishment started noticing him, right, that he is doing something wrong which is not good for our popularity, and he was sent to jail. Obviously you will not, or he will not be sent on jail just on any random charges. There will be some charges, some violation of any act, then only the stringent action will be taken against him. But the thing is, people start noticing. So here also people start noticing the work of de Rosier, and because of him he was disbanded, right? And also his radicalism was bookish in character. They failed to take up the peasants' cause. De Rosier lacked any real link with the masses. Okay, you need to have support of the masses, then only you can do things. Bookish knowledge, so it's very easy to give. The thing which I am telling to you, I am reading it, I am just presenting in front of you. I am not doing anything else or anything bigger. But if I tell you the reality of the examination, if I help you to generate a curiosity in your mind, if I help you to understand the pattern, okay, what kind of expectations are there, then I think my work will be considered something substantial. Okay. So same thing are written, like despite their limitation, this we can understand as positive aspect. So he forwarded Ram Mohan Roy's tradition of public education on social, economic, political question, right? Public education is very much important. Public education means this, having a discussion over any topic. Right now what we do, any topic is given, if we are having some knowledge, we start giving our opinion. Okay, either we are placed sipping a cup of tea at any tea store, tea shop, or we are discussing in family gathering, or if we are traveling to train. आजकल तो खैर वो ट्रेन वाला भी खत्म हो गया, because people are engaged in their own mobile, but हाँ ऐसा we have seen, right? So this culture was not there in at that point of time. People were discussing things, but not about public thing, education, upliftment, okay, all these things. So this was the basically after Brahma Samaj, he propagated this idea, and later on in our freedom struggle movement, you will see that this thing, library movement, library movement during civil disobedience movement, during this Swadeshi movement, people started opening library where things related to British policies were discussed, condemned. Okay, so this is kind of creating a base for freedom struggle movement. They demanded induction of Indians in higher grades of service, that is indigenization of Indian administration, protection of riots from oppressive zamindars, better treatment to Indian labor abroad, revision of companies' character, freedom of press. So all these things were missing in our society during that point of time. So they were demanding these things, as simple as that. Next is Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar and his effort. This is important. Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar can be asked in the examination. Everything which we are discussing actually can be asked. That's why we are reading it. So Vidyasagar idea was a blend of Indian and Western thought, right? He believed in high moral values, was a deep humanist, and was generous to the poor. He himself was very poor. He, if you will read about his journey and his life, okay, so he struggled a lot to study hard and also to reach up to that level, and he was having sympathies towards poor also, right? He was the great advocate of widow remarriage. With his effort, this widow remarriage act was passed, crusader against child marriage and polygamy, right? He did much for cause of women's education, and he basically organized 35 girls school. So women education, widow remarriage, basically these two things were mostly popularized or emphasized by whom? Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, right? Next is Bal Shastri Jambedkar. Not much important. I can't say not much important, but you can read about him from the book. We will see just important thing about him, that was a pioneer of social reform through journalism in Bombay. Journalism in Bombay, okay, it's known as the father of Marathi journalism. So if people are preparing for MPPECS, so I think this personality and his work is very important. MPSC, matlab Maharashtra PCS. He started newspaper Darpan. So this is important. Darpan in 1832, who started? So Bal Shastri Jambedkar, and started Digdarshan. Two information are very important. Now he was the first professor of Hindi at the Elphinstone College, beside being the director of Colaba Observatory. So among all the information, these two information you can note it down. Paramhans Mandli, not much important. You can simply read about it. Then Satya-Sodhak Samaj, this is important. And Jyotiba Phule. All the information about Jyotiba Phule important for your ethics also, for your essay also, anything related in Indian society of paper 1, that is also, and important for prelims, mains, prelims and this modern history, right? So Jyotiba Phule is very much important. You need to study it in great detail, right? So he founded what? Satya-Sodhak Samaj, Truth Seekers Society in 1873. As a powerful movement against upper caste domination and Brahmanical supremacy. Right? Against what? Upper caste domination and Brahmanical supremacy. This is important. Basically, he was against our upper caste domination. No? Upper caste means Brahmans. And Brahmanical supremacy. His main aim were social service and spread of education among women and lower caste people. Right? His works Sarvajanik Satya Dharma and Gulamgiri. So Gulamgiri is very much important. It is being asked in many examinations. Other is Sarvajanik Satya Dharma and Gulamgiri means slavery, right? Phule used the symbol of Raja Bali as opposed to Brahmin symbol of Rama. So what is this Raja Bali? And this, let me tell you, I will tell you what is the story. Phule aimed at the complete abolition of the caste system and socio-economic inequalities. He was awarded the title of Mahatma for his social reform work. So basically, is story of Raja Bali is like, you know, Raja Bali is basically revered in Kerala. Now, Onam is the festival of Kerala, and it is celebrated every year. So that festival is celebrated for the Raja Bali itself. So what is the story? There was a king Raja Bali, and he was very good, very prosperous, and was doing everything good for the people, which is not like by whom? By gods. So gods, and according to Hindu mythology, Raja Bali is considered as a demon. Okay, so asura जिसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं. So he was not liked by God, so they started to conspire against him, gods. So what did they do? One avatar came, incarnation named as Vamana avatar. Okay, and he asked Raja Bali that I want your territory. I will just use my 3 steps, and whatever will come in those 3 steps, I will take it. So Raja Bali became angry. So in first step, Vaman avatar, God Vaman, he just covered whole earth. In next step, he covered the whole sky. Now nothing left in the universe. So he asked Raja Bali that now everything has been covered in just 2 steps. Now you tell me what you can offer in my 3rd step. So he offered his own head, and finally Raja Bali died because Vaman kept his 3rd step above Raja Bali's head, right? So this Jyotiba Phule used as the symbol of saying that Raja Bali was generous, loyal, and you know, working for upliftment of women, downtrodden, but God or Brahmin supremacy killed them, right? So he was using this symbolism, and finally the Raja Bali was given this opportunity that okay, if you are a good king of this region, so every year you can come and visit here. So Onam is celebrated to mark that occasion when Raja Bali, it is considered that Raja Bali is coming, and Raja Bali is the god of people who were there in southern India, right? Basically Kerala. So ये idea था Raja Bali वाला, which was popularized by whom? Jyotiba Phule. And if you are student of sociology or your optional is sociology, so here sociologists like Gail Ombet, they have discussed in great detail about this idea of Jyotiba Phule, that how he used, you know, the upliftment of lower castes by using this story. And also Jyotiba Phule, he brought one you know, piece of a stone, a big stone, and he just established it and started worshipping that piece of stone. So here he wanted to symbolize that the worshipping or idol worshipping is not only the you know, domain of Brahmin itself. It's not only monopolized by Brahmin itself. We lower caste people can also use this practice. So this was the idea. Next personality is Gopal Hari Deshmukh, and he is also known as Lok Hitvadi, right? So who gave him is the name of pen name Lok Hitvadi. He wrote the weekly Prabhakar under the pen name Lok Hitvadi. So it was his pen name, right? And he was a social reformer and rationalist from Maharashtra. Deshmukh, we know, a powerful Deshmukh. While we were reading Maratha War, Anglo-Maratha War, there also we discussed that it was one of the confederacy Deshmukh were, right? And you understand his thought. If religion does not sanction social reform, then change religion. How radical it is, right? You can change the religion if your religion is not sanctioning social reform. He started a weekly Hitekshu and also played Hitekshu. It is actually Hitekshu. Hitekshu means you are trying or you are inclined to do goods फॉर अदर्स, हित के इच्छा करने वाला, हितेक्षु, and also played the leading role in founding the periodicals Gyan Prakash, Indu Prakash. This is important. Gyan Prakash Patrika and Indu Prakash, published by whom? Gopal Hari Deshmukh. Gopal Hari Deshmukh, Lokhitvadi. Lokhitvadi means hitekshu. See, you can understand this. Lokhitvadi, he wants to do the hit, means good of people. That's why hitekshu, right? So easy to remember. Next is Gopal Ganesh Agarkar. So simply you can read about him, not very much important. The Servant of India Society is important. Can be asked that when it was found, who founded it and what was the work of Servant of India Society. So it was basically founded by Gopal Krishna Gokhale in year 1905, right? And the aim of the society was in year 1905, when we have when the partition of Bengal took place and Swadeshi movement started. So at that point of time, this Servant of India Society was established. And what were the aim? To train national missionaries for the service of India, to promote by all constitutional means the true interest of the Indian people, and to prepare a cadre of selfless workers who were to devote their lives and cause for the country, right? So basically he wanted to create a cadre, he wanted to bring people, he wanted to work for the masses, right? To bring masses under the aegis of Indian National Congress, and also to have in their mind the concept of nationality, okay, patriotism, so that people can understand the cause for which they are fighting, and they can fight against British. In 1911, Hitvada began to publish the views of the society. After Gokhale's death in 1915, Srinivas Shastri took over as the president. Okay, so this is important because these kind of information, that who founded, when it was founded, was asked many times. So next kind of information which can be asked is who was the caretaker after the death of Gopal Krishna Gokhale of Servant of India Society. No need to read in detail apart from this information, okay, because if you will start reading, so you will lack time also, and cost effect benefit is very less. So the general information which is read by everyone, you have to read that itself. Social Service League, N.M. Joshi founded Social Service League. He is also one person who is responsible for the starting the trade union movement, right? So All India Trade Union was established by him. Trade union movement. Right? So N.M. Joshi founded the Social Service League in Bombay. Next is Ramakrishna movement. Ramakrishna movement and about Swami Vivekananda, it is important, can be asked. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so Ramakrishna movement. So it was, Ramakrishna movement was basically started by Swami Vivekananda, right? So who was Ramakrishna, that we have to understand. Ramakrishna Paramhans was a mystic who sought religious salvation in the traditional way of renunciation, meditation and devotion. So basically he was the guru of Swami Vivekananda, right? So you can understand Swami Vivekananda was very much a high level of intellectual person. In just 39 years of age, he achieved many things even which people follow. Okay, so if he is having someone as his guru, so what can be the caliber of that person? It is believed that Ramakrishna Paramhans was, able to communicate with the goddess also. So I don't know it is true or not, but people had such kind of belief over him. He was the saintly person who recognized the fundamental oneness of all religion and emphasized that there were many roads to God and salvation, and the service of man is the service of God. So basically, Ramakrishna Paramhans and Swami Vivekananda, they are basically propagating or promoting the idea of service of man. स्वामी विवेकानंद विल डिस्कस अबाउट हिम लेटर ऑन, अभी नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में. बट उन्होंने कहा, सिंपल सी बात कही थी, लेट मी टेल इन हिंदी, कि अगर तुम्हारे पड़ोसी भूखा है तो मंदिर में प्रसाद चढ़ाना पाप है ना. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि फर्स्ट यू फीड टू योर नेबर. गॉड इज नॉट लाइक, अगर आपका पड़ोसी भूख से मर रहा है और आप वहीं मंदिर में प्रसाद चढ़ा रहे हो, ठीक है, ये आज की सोसाइटी के लिए बहुत रेलिवेंट चीज़ है कि there is widespread poverty prevalent in our society, but huge amount of money is also spent on various organization of religious event, promotion of events. I am not going into much debate because they have their own argument, who are organizing these events and who are spending money for the promotion of religion. They have their own argument. So and why they are not giving money to poor, or why they are not doing something to remove the poverty. So I am not going into it, but I am just saying that this is there in the society. And what you have to understand, that after it was started in year 1893, so you count how many days have been passed, how many years have been passed, and the situation is same in the society. So have we developed monetarily basis, or have we developed spiritually, or is our religions have been reformed? These kind of question you must ask, then the analytical ability will be there in your mind, right? So teaching of Ramakrishna is basically the form the basis of Ramakrishna movement, right? Objective were to bring into existence a band of monks dedicated to life of renunciation and practice spirituality, from among whom teachers and workers would be sent out to spread the universal message of Vedanta, right? So basically at one place where a servant of India society trying to create the cadre of nationalists, here in Ramakrishna mission, people, or Swami Vivekananda is trying to create people of spiritual awakening who come and join Ramakrishna mission and then spread the awareness to all other people also, right? To all other places also, in conjunction with lay disciplines, to carry on preaching, philanthropic and charitable works, looking upon all men, women and children, irrespective of caste, creed, color, as a veritable manifestation of the divine. Now there should not be any differentiation between any man, children, women, or any creature created by God based on any caste, religion, sex, or any other basis of discrimination. Okay, everyone should be treated equal, and also people should take large part in where philanthropic activities. Philanthropic means अच्छा काम, दान देना, डोनेशन, लोगों को गर्मी ठंडियों में कंबल बांटना, these kind of activities. Philanthropist who perform these activities, they are also known as philanthropists. Paramhans himself led the foundation of the Ramakrishna mission, Ramakrishna Mutt, as the nucleus to fulfill the first objective. Swami Vivekananda. So you need to know about great detail about Swami Vivekananda because of I would say that the inclination of present government is such that whatever the work was done by any person who were mostly associated with Hinduism, so they are bound to ask such kind of questions, and they are asking also. You can see in this EU papers by EPFO, so such kind of some questions were there. So we can predict, basically it's not sure, it's not quite sure, it's not often true, and it's just my assumption and people's assumption who prepare for competitive examination. We don't know the mind of paper setter, okay? It's not always true, but what our agenda is. Our agenda is to maximize our score to just clear the examination. So we can make a guess if this kind of question can come from this part of the syllabus. Also we must prepare this thoroughly. That's the idea. Swami Vivekananda second objective. What was the second objective of Ramakrishna Mission? First objective was to create the an organization so that people who are having saintly overlook can come and join, and then they can go to other places and create awareness. And second objective was to spread the philanthropic and charitable thing, okay, to inculcate in the people's mind, in people's behavior, and also bringing in equality amongst all, right? So it was basically popularized by Swami Vivekananda. He founded Ramakrishna Mission in year 1897, right? So about Ramakrishna Mission, you know, I don't know it is included here or not. Let me check. Here it's not. So two information let me give you, that he was born in 12th Jan, and I think in year 1869. You can confirm the year, but 20th Jan is celebrated as National Youth Day. Youth Day every year. National Youth Day. Okay. So to mark the birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. This is important. He founded Ramakrishna Mission in year 1897, right? Headquarters of the Ramakrishna Mission but was Belur near Calcutta. So this is important. Belur near Calcutta. Don't get it confused with Vellore. Vellore is then down south. He also represented India in the first Parliament of Religion held in Chicago in year 1893. This is important. Chicago first religion parliament religion, धर्म संसद जिसको हम इसको बोलते हैं, and many people became follower, many foreigner Swami, like one is Sister Nivedita. Her name was something else, but after joining Swami Vivekananda, she changed her name as Sister Nivedita. After listening her in Chicago, she became follower of Swami Vivekananda. His mission was to bring the gulf between Paramartha and Vyavahara, between spirituality and day-to-day life. Basically, his idea is what you are preaching, what religion is preaching, good thing. You just inculcate that in your behavior. There is a gap, you just bridge that gap. Okay. सो इसके बारे में मैं बताऊं, वर्ल्ड पार्लियामेंट, जो फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड पार्लियामेंट ऑफ रिलीजन हुई थी, इसमें जब स्वामी विवेकानंद स्टार्टेड हिज लेक्चर, हिज स्पीच, ओके, and the speech was like, we start speech, so we just give greetings to everyone. So people were greeting ladies and gentlemen like that. He started his greeting as sisters and brothers. So as soon as he spoke this sisters and brothers, people started clapping all over the hall, right? So it is the thing that universal brotherhood he is preaching at that global platform. The mission stands for religious and social reform and advocated the doctrine of service. I told you that अगर तुम्हारा पड़ोसी भूखा है तो मंदिर में प्रसाद चढ़ाना पाप है. The service of Jiva, living object, is the worship of Shiva. हाँ, जीव की पूजा ही शिव की पूजा है. अनदर इम्पोर्टेंट आइडिया ऑफ हिज कि इंसान की पूजा ही भगवान की पूजा है. बेसिकली इंसान की पूजा, इट्स नॉट लाइक यू ट्रीट हिम लाइक गॉड. इंसान की पूजा इज इफ ही इज इन नीड, सो यू हेल्प हिम, राइट? इफ ही इज हंग्री, यू फीड हिम. इफ ही नीड समथिंग, यू गिव हिम. You make him that kind of provide him ability so that he can do something. Okay, so that is the service of man. It's not like you start worshipping a man like a god. Life itself is a religion. How philosophical it is. Life itself is a religion. Okay, I think there can be essay on it. UPSC, it's known for asking such kind of philosophical essays. So if you are asked to write an essay that life itself is a religion, so what you will write? I think you have to give it a thought. Arya Samaj. Okay, or how life is a religion, or how life can be the culmination of all the religion. Okay, very good, I think, quote. Arya Samaj, again very important, right? So Arya Samaj movement was revivalist in form, though not in content. Okay, revivalist means he wanted to revive the old Hinduism. Hinduism, he wanted to change whatever newness has come in the Hinduism, so he wanted to revive it. That is revivalist movement. Founded by whom? Founded by Dayanand Saraswati. His original name was Moolasankar. It was asked also, so you can write Moolasankar, right? And he belonged from Gujarat, Morbi village. There was, if you remember, few months back, a bridge collapse in Morbi, right? So if you remember, same Morbi. So first unit was set up by Dayanand Saraswati at Bombay in 1875, and later the headquarters established to Lahore, right? From Bombay to Lahore. The nucleus for this movement provided by Dayanand Anglo-Vedic School. He established DAV, same DAV which are present nowadays at various places of the country and known for good quality education. Right? The first school was established at Lahore in 1886. They emphasize on the importance of Western education. Okay, and Swami Sadanand started the Gurukul at Haridwar in 1902 to impart the education in the traditional framework. So ये था स्वामी आर्य समाज के बारे में. And let me check. Guiding principle. The book written by, it's there or not? Satyarth Prakash. If it's not there, so you can write. The book written by Swami Dayanand is Satyarth Prakash. Okay, Arya Samaj. Arya Samaj, the principle of Arya Samaj, it is very much popular nowadays for what? Marriages. Okay, so people go and marry if they want low profile marriage, so they go and marry in Arya Samaj. Okay, Arya Samaj provides certificate also, and many are follower of Arya Samaj. They read this book Satyarth Prakash very rigorously. Okay, so what is the principles? God is the primary source of knowledge. First thing, primary source of true knowledge. God as all true, all knowledge, almighty, immoral, creator of universe, is the alone worthy of worship. Only worship God, nothing else. So see, revivalist, when everyone is talking about, you come out of this thing about God, you just believe only one God, and idol worship and all should not be followed. You just talk about worship in people. Okay, so here he is talking about that you only believe in one God. God is everywhere. God is true, almighty. So revive. He is just trying to revive the thing. The Vedas are the books of true knowledge. Now he's saying that people are saying at one end that just take good things of Vedas, or interpreting that how Vedas are good. He is saying that whatever it is good is source of true knowledge, and Arya should always be ready to accept truth and abandon untruth. Right? Dharma, that is due consideration of right and wrong, should be the guiding principle of action. So religious things which we talk, है ना, जो आज के बाबा लोग बात करते हैं, सो वो सारी चीज़ें रिवाइव कि धर्म ही है सब कुछ, और आप ट्रुथ को एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए रेडी रहो. दीज वर द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ आर्य समाज. द प्रिंसिपल इन द समाज इज टू प्रमोट वर्ल्ड्स वेल बीइंग इन द मटेरियल, स्पिरिचुअल एंड सोशल सेंस. एवरीबडी शुड बी ट्रीटेड विद लव एंड जस्टिस. राइट? तो ये सारी चीज़ें थी, आप एक बार पढ़ लेना इसको. शुद्धि, प्यूरिफिकेशन मूवमेंट, शुद्धि मूवमेंट. To convert to the Hindu fold, converts to the Christian and Islam. Other name of Shuddhi movement in present time is Ghar Wapsi. Right? So you don't have to remember this name. It will not be asked in the examination. I am simply saying politics over it. Okay, we don't have to deal it because it's not in our subject matter. So you simply understand the Shuddhi movement. If anybody has converted himself to in any other religion based on his will, so if they want to bring him back, they used to do this Shuddhi movement. Okay, This led to increasing communalization of social life during the 1920s. The work of Swami after his death was carried forward by Lala Hansraj, Pandit Gurudutt, Lala Lajpat Rai and Swami Sahadanand. Swami Sahadanand, his name is important, Shraddhanand, published his famous Satyarth Prakash, Satyarth, the true exposition. This is important, Satyarth Prakash. Dharma Sabha, not much important. Dev Samaj, Radha Swami movement, just go through the names and what is the principle will be same. Just go through the name, that's it. Seva Sadan, Indian Social Conference, just go through the names. This is important, SNDP movement, Sri Narayan Guru Dharma Pratipalana, SNDP movement. Now, founder Sri Narayan Guru Swami. Narayan Guru Swami. It is started among the Izawa of Kerala. Izawa is the community of Kerala. So basically, Izawa were the single largest caste group in Kerala, constituting 26% of the total population. Now, his methodology took a stone from the Nayar river. Okay. In Sivalinga sorry. So I told you this was done by Jyotiba Phule. So it was not Jyotiba Phule, it was done by Narayan Guru. Okay. He took a stone from the Nayar village river and installed it Sivalinga. To show that it's Izawa community is basically low caste community. So I got confused there. So you have to just avoid that thing there. The Aruvipram Sri Narayan Guru Dharma Pratipalana Yojana was registered in 1903. So basically, this was established in the year 1903. Several issues of Izawa like right of admission in public school, recruitment to government service, access to roads and to temples, political representation. So they were facing discrimination. Izawa community being one of the considerable part of population, 26% of Kerala's population, they were facing many discrimination like not getting rights to get admitted in the school, not having access to political representation, roads and temple entries in the temple. So he fought against these kind of discrimination. Now let's so this is all about various movement, various social religious reform movements and organization. I think we have covered in great detail. Now let's see some of the question that who influenced Mahadev Govind Ranade to establish Prarthana Samaj in Bombay, right? So we have not covered it. Now let us see the answer. Kesav Chandra Sen. Kesav Chandra Sen influenced M.G. Ranade to establish Prarthana Samaj in Bombay. M.G. Ranade worked for the emancipation of women. Next. Who among the following was the author of the drama Neel Darpan? So basically Neel Darpan is related to Indigo Revolt. Indigo Revolt we will cover later on while we will discuss Peasant Revolt. So Indigo Revolt, I think it was written by Deen Bandhu Mitra. Yeah, Deen Bandhu Mitra, right? And yes, but later on if you have any question, you can ask. So just let's take 5 minutes break, then we'll start another topic, that is civil, peasants and tribal revolts. So welcome back. Okay, so we have ended just now the topic of socio-religious reform movement. Okay, discuss in great detail. If you have any doubt, you can ask. I tell you every time. Now we will start this people's resistance against British. Okay, before 1857. So when we were discussing 1857 revolt, I told you, and UPSC has also asked question about that it was not it was a major revolt, but before 1857 revolt there were many small revolts which shook the British administration up to some extent, right? And I told you that we are not going to cover, but I thought later that we should cover, otherwise you people will skip at your end also. So in this people's revolt there are 3 kinds of revolt basically. First is peasants revolt, second is tribal revolt, and third one is civil revolt. Okay. However, peasants and this tribals are also part of civilian, but we are as our book has mentioned this separately, historians have mentioned or categorized them separately, so we will cover them separately, right? And here you need to understand that what are the causes of these revolts. So causes are basically or more or less same. Okay. The severe oppression by Britishers, tax revenue policies, increasing poverty among peasants, okay, losing of artisanship, losing of handicrafts industry, deindustrialization of Indian society. These were the basic cause of revolts of all the revolts. In case of civil revolts, when zamindars revolted, polygars revolted, okay, so they were having some kind of grudges or some kind of apprehensions over them, over Britishers, so they revolted. And then we will discuss leaders of these revolts, okay, and next thing, at what areas, at what places these revolts were confined. So these 4-5 ideas you have to keep in your mind while reading these revolts. First is what is the revolt, name of the revolt, then who was the leader, then areas where it started, and then causes of the revolt, and finally how it was suppressed or what happened to the revolt. So we will discuss in that direction. So let's start first. First is people's resistance. Meaning I told you the civil, tribal and peasants revolt, right? So they are just showing their apprehension, showing their anger towards British administration when it became unbearable for them to tolerate further coercion by British. They revolted, right? Genesis, causative factors. Now we have discussed it multiple times, but as we are discussing here, so let's reiterate what is this: colonial and revenue settlement policies, heavy burden of new taxes, eviction of peasants from their lands, and encroachments of tribal lands, right? Expansion of revenue administration over tribal lands. Initially, revenues were not taken by tribals. Tribals were considered themselves as, it is their own place. Jungles, forests, they just sustain themselves by using the produces of jungles. So Britishers, their objective was to have maximum profit. They were not leaving any stone unturned, right? They were, whatever opportunity were present in front of them to make the profit, they were using all those opportunities. It started from trading, then converted, then looting the coffers or treasures of regional powers, and then commercialization of lands became commercial entities, and then they focused themselves into forest, right? Forest was also a source of major revenue and taxation, so they started taxing tribals also. Promotion of British manufactured goods, heavy duties on Indian industries, especially export duties, now leading to devastation of Indian handlooms. I have discussed it also. And agriculturalization means destruction of indigenous crops and workers of industry to basically same thing, that when people lost their job in industry, handicraft industry, artisanship, okay, so they went back to agriculture, which was already suffering from low productivity, high burden of taxes, okay, severe coercion by Britishers and zamindars who were supporting Britishers up to some extent. And then people find that this is not good, let's give them a fight back. Civil uprising, major causes, same thing, rapid changes in economy, personal grudges of zamindars, the ego of traditional zamindars and polygars, where the hard duty being sidelined, ruins of Indian handicrafts, the priestly classes instigated hatred and rebellion against alien rule, and the foreign character of the British rule. So these 2 points is something new. Let me explain that. Others, so I have explained you already. The priestly classes instigated hatred and rebellion against alien rule. So alien rules means rule by British, right? And priestly classes, why they played important role? Because people put so much faith in these priests, okay, and against these priests we have discussed that social reformers were fighting. So even today, if somebody if any Guruji, Babaji, or whom we believe in our family, our family believes, if they say something, is it logical or not, so people will start believing. If you remember, there was a Baba some days before who was having a unique technique of telling why things are going wrong in your life. Okay, कृपा कहाँ रुकी हुई है, अगर आपको याद हो तो वो बताते थे. फाइनली ही वॉज his all the agenda was unraveled कि कहाँ पे कृपा रुकी हुई है, वो सबको पता चल गया. ठीक है, तो वो चीज़ें ऐसे इतना इफेक्ट लोगों में होता था. तो पीपल आर इंडियन सोसाइटी, इंडियन पीपल वर वेरी गलीबल. गलीबल मीन्स दे कैन बी मोल्डेड और परसुएडेड वेरी इजिली. इवन मैनी पार्ट ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन टुडे इज वेरी गलीबल. इंडियन पीपल आर इनोसेंट पीपल. So this is the thing, foreign people, Pichli people instigated against Britishers. Okay, then next is foreign character of British ruler. This is very important. No, it's not like Britishers are only alien people coming to India. India before Britishers, people from other places like Mughals. Mughals were also not the native of India. Okay, Babur, came from somewhere else. But what is the difference between Mughals and foreigners, or means Britishers, was when Mughal came, so they themselves became the part of India. उन्होंने इंडिया को अपना घर समझ लिया. दे स्टार्टेड, कुछ अमलगेशन हुआ, उनका कल्चर इंडिया में मिला, इंडिया का कल्चर उनमें मिला, बट दे मेड देमसेल्फ द पार्ट ऑफ द इंडिया. और फिर आगे पूरा सब कुछ यहीं रहने लगे. एवरीथिंग वाज कंटिन्यूड. बट ब्रिटिशर्स देमसेल्फ नेवर मेड द पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया. Right, they themselves consider that they are here coming for the business, for looting India, for ruling India, and they knew that they have to leave India at any point of time. So all the officers who were coming, they were having this idea, right? So that's why foreign character of British rule or alien character of British rule, which was not liked by people. अगर आपके घर में कोई मेहमान आता है, right, it's good, you serve him, you feed him, you take him outside for all the sightseeing and all. लेकिन अगर वो मेहमान and he shows the affection, right, he shows the kind of affection, he brings some gifts to you. Now while leaving he pays some money, it's kind of ritual to you, so it's a cordial relationship. But अगर कोई मेहमान आके if he believes like he is alien, okay, he is not showing, तो फिर आप you will not show that kind of affection towards him. So same way they came in India. जैसे आपको मैं इससे पहले उसकी कहानी सुनाता हूँ. टाटाज ऑल्सो केम फ्रॉम आउटसाइड. मुगल्स के ज़माने में ही आए थे, लेकिन बाहर से आए थे. ओके, एंड दे आर नॉट, and right now you can understand how much contribution they are making in Indian society in terms of anything. Philanthropy के बारे में देखिए, biggest charitable organization है ना. And we hear many stories about Tatas के during attack on Taj Hotel. Every worker of Taj Hotel was given salary, और जो भी प्रॉब्लम थी सब कुछ हुआ था. टाटा के बारे में we all know, it's not something unique. But the story of beginning of Tata, what is it? Let me tell you in brief कि when first Tata, no, I don't want to quote the name क्योंकि कुछ गलत भी हो सकता है, तो you just remember first Tata. When he came in Mughals court, जब टाटा की फैमिली आई, तो दे केम टू टेक द परमिशन फ्रॉम मुगल्स कि हम आपके साथ परमिशन लेना चाहते हैं फॉर डूइंग द ट्रेड. ओके, और मुगल्स डिनाइड इनिशियली. उनको मुगल ने बोला कि नहीं, वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू गिव एनी परमिशन टू एनीबडी, बिकॉज दे हैव सीन दैट व्हाट मिस्टेक पीपल हैव कमिटेड, देयर फोरफादर्स हैव कमिटेड बाय गिविंग परमिशन टू डूइंग ट्रेड. बट टाटा जो भी थे, फर्स्ट टाटा, ही न्यू दैट व्हाट इज हिज इंटेंशन. ठीक है, तो उन्होंने बोला कि ही जस्ट आस्क फॉर one glass of water, just give me one glass of milk, okay, and bring some sugar. So उनको गिलास भी वाटर भी मिल्क भी दिया गया और उसमें फिर शुगर भी दिया गया. तो he just mixed sugar in that glass of water and asked his जो भी वहाँ पे था कि give this to your emperor. ठीक है, मुगल एम्परर को दिया गया. मुगल एम्परर drank that glass of milk and then he became kind of kind of ओवर हिम कि भाई ये क्या है और आपने क्यों मुझे दिया है. तो ही आस्क्ड टाटा टू एक्सप्लेन दिस थिंग. देन टाटा एक्सप्लेन हिम कि वी आर हियर टू ब्रिंग स्वीटनेस. इफ यू विल डू ट्रेड, सो ऑल द बेनिफिट ऑफ ट्रेड विल बी रेसिप्रोकेटेड इन इंडियन सोसाइटी और सोसाइटी ऑल्सो. तो ये था कि टाटाज यहाँ आए, यहीं के रह गए और इन्हीं के लोगों को हमको ही बेनिफिट देना चालू किया. right? But this was not the character of Britishers. They were having foreign character. So one by one we will start civil revolt with the topic sannyasi revolt. So the timeline you see 1763 to 1800. Okay, it is also known as Fakir rebellion. Sannyasis, basically there was a tradition of sannyasis, these people sannyasis, okay, wanderer, they used to go to Bengal during up to harvesting season, okay, when harvesting is completed. So zamindars and other people used to give them alms, जो भी थोड़ा दान वगैरह था वो उनको देते थे. This was their mode of livelihood. ऐसे ही livelihood होता था. जैसे कि अभी present day you see that Sawan has been started, okay. Sawan in Hindu mythology, मतलब हिंदू कैलेंडर के हिसाब से सावन भादो कौर कार्तिक ऐसे करके ये वो है months है. तो सावन started, and in this period of Sawan you might have seen or you might be knowing the Kawadiyas, है ना, they go to Haridwar to bring the Ganga Jal, and then with that Ganga Jal they pour it into idol of शिवलिंग, है ना, शिवलिंग में डालते हैं. तो दिस इज द थिंग. तो whenever these Kawadiyas go, people give them all the things to eat, because it is believed that they come by by foot, and they travel so much distance by foot. So people make arrangement for their stay, they make arrangement for their fooding, everything is for free, right? But if it is Hindu practice or Hindu religious practice, and also well established occurrence or event in Indian society, right? But the same was followed during British time also. Sannyasis were going, but Britishers were considering them as a troublemaker. Britishers were not wanted to have anyone in their path of ruling, in the path of making profit. Whoever was coming, they were just sidelining them, suppressing them. So Britishers started putting them into the jail. They started stopping them to come and behave in that way. So sannyasis became very angry and they revolted, right? So they revolted, and some of the leaders like Majnun Shah or Majnu Shah, Chirag Ali, Musa Shah, Bhavani Pathak, and Devi Chaudhrani. About Devi Chaudhrani we have discussed when we were reading women's related organization, right? So basically Eastern India, Bengal region caused the disastrous famine of 1770 and harsh economic order of British. Famine was also one of the reason. It is people are not having anything to eat, and they are not allowed to beg also. They are not allowed to ask also for alms, which is the practice. Group of sannyasis in Eastern India raided company factories and the treasuries and fought the company's forces. This is the mode of revolt, right? And Anand Math, this is very important. Anand Math, Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, he is the author of Anand Math. So he has mentioned sannyasi revolt in his novel Anand Math. He has also written a novel Devi Chaudhrani, right? So this is important. Devi Chaudhrani is a noble also. She is a person who worked for women upliftment. She took part in sannyasi revolt also. Anand Math wrote what? This about sannyasi revolt. Bankim Chandra wrote about sannyasi revolt in his novel Anand Math. Okay, and Anand Math is also known for something else. You might be aware about it. I am not going to tell. Now comes the revolt in Midnapur and Dhalbhum region. Same, nothing important. Just you go through it. Revolt of Mohammed is nothing important. Actually, see why these kind of revolts are coming. The person who has created this PPT, he has taken the content from a particular book, Spectrum. And Spectrum, if you were preparing for, let's say in 2015-16, the size of Spectrum was this much, okay, 16-17. I can show you old Spectrum also. But now the Spectrum is this much, okay, this much big. It has covered all the irrelevant information in the book. That's why size has been increased. But it is not possible to read everything mentioned in the book and remember. Reading is fine, but remembering things. Okay, so we will just focus on the important revolts which is mentioned in the standard books like Bipin Chandra and all, right? Otherwise, all the efforts will be go in preparing for modern Indian history, and the weightage is not like that, right? So that's why I'm telling you not much important. You can read if you want, and you can leave it also. This can be considered as some importance. Vijayagram, okay, Vijayangrama, it is in modern Andhra Pradesh, caused demand of tribute for 3 lakhs rupees from Vijayangrama Raju, the Raja of Vijayangrama. Okay, the Britishers, actually he fought against Britishers, and he became, firstly he managed to defeat Britishers, but later on Britishers defeated him because someone, like it must be mentioned here, someone like we have discussed in case of Bengal, someone betrayed him, whom? Raja of Vijayangrama. So someone betrayed him, his own man betrayed him, so Britishers became able to defeat Vijayangrama. And the practice of Britishers, whenever they defeat anyone, so what they do, they ask for all the losses they suffer from the same person itself. Okay, this is known as war indemnity. We have seen at every war initially. So they asked for 3 lakh rupees, he denied, and this caused this became the cause of revolt, right? So this is just it. In Awadh, United Province by Wazir Ali Khan, not very much important. Polygamous revolt can be considered important from 1795 to 1805. Basically in Tirunelveli, okay, Ramnathpuram, Shivganga, Madurai, Shivgiri. Transfer of management and control of Tirunelveli and the Carnatic province to the East India Company. So basically it was transferred, we know, through various revolts, okay, Anglo-Carnatic wars and all various regional expansion adventure of Britishers. So people were not happy and they fought against that. Paika revolt is important. Okay, it was, as I told you, right, we make some guesses, some expectations that it can be asked in the examination. So Paika revolt is one of the some guesses, and I think it completed in 2008 to 2023. It completed 150 year, I guess 2022, right? Or some importance was there. It was news also. That's why people were expecting that it can be asked. So that's why it is considered important, but it was not asked. So here you can prepare that because it was in current news, so it can be asked. So Paikas is basically fighters, tribals, fighters who Paikas means related to legs, pair. So they were they were the traditional landed militia, foot soldiers literally, and enjoy rent-free land tenures for their military services. As we have seen in the case of Marathas, they were having their soldiers or some the people who were providing military service named as Pindaris. These Pindaris became the cause of third Anglo-Maratha war, right? They started attacking Britishers, and Britishers thought that Marathas are helping them or instigating them to attack, and finally they removed this Pindaris from their way also. So here also Paikas they were providing military services, and in lieu of that they were enjoying rent-free access of lands, right? So but this services, again troublemaker for Britishers. Britishers started confining them, subjugating them, and they revolted because conquest of Odisha in 1803 and the dethronement of Raja of Khurda. So Odisha means Britishers have invaded in the region. It means their service is no longer needed. They will be made unemployed. Unemployed means now they don't have work, and they are not allowed to be there without paying the fees or without paying the revenue. Right? Name of the leader was Bakshi Jagan Bandhu Vidyadhar. This is important. Right? And finally he revolted. That's it. With active support of Mukunda Deva, the last Raja of Khurda, don't have to go into such detail, just understand what is the cause, what is the leader and in which area it was taken place. Piker Rebellion result: the Piker Rebellion succeeded in getting large remission of arrears, reduction in assessment, suspension of the sale of the state of defaulters at discretion, a new settlement of fixed tenure and other adjustment of liberal governance. So basically, with their effort, Britishers provided some concession, right? Concession like getting large emission of reduction in assessment. So their rent was reduced. This we can understand. Next is Diwan Velu Thampi revolt. This is again can be considered one of the important revolt. Took place in 1808-1809, caused the high-handed attitude of the company, harsh condition imposed on the state of Travancore. We have again seen during Anglo-Mysore war, right? If you remember, the Travancore was basically, this is the area of Travancore. It was having boundary touched with Mysore, right? So Tipu Sultan attacked Travancore. Travancore was an ally of Britishers initially or from beginning, right? So finally, Britishers were having their control over attitude over Travancore, and there was having high-handed attitude. Okay, whatever British resident was thinking, he was doing that thing, and also harsh condition was imposed. So Velu Thampi addressed gathering in Kundara and openly calling for taking up arms against the British to out them from the native soil. This was known as Kundara Proclamation. Maharaja of Travancore did not wholly supported the rebellion and defected side of the company. Velu Thampi was basically Diwan. Diwan means kind of PM, you can understand, PM of the Travancore. So he was the man of courage who thought to raise voice against Britishers, but Britishers, and when your Raja is not supporting you, so what Britishers can do? What Velu Thampi can do? Ahom revolt is again important revolt, took place in Assam. The leader name is Gondhar Konwar. Okay, this is important. So cause is British transgression in Assamese territory. There was first Burma War, Anglo-Burma War in 1824-26. So Britishers used the territory of Assam instead of withdrawing. Britishers used and take the service of some people also, and they said that after this war we will withdraw your territory. But they as their character was, they just did not fulfill the promise, and they attempted to try to incorporate the territory of Ahom's territory. So this is part of a rebellion in 1828 under the leadership of Gondhar Kanwar and Ahom prince. This is going where? Down northeast, Assam. In 1828, what happened? We have discussed few hours before, establishment of Brahma Samaj. Right. Finally, the company decided to follow a conciliatory policy and they handed over Upper Assam. These kind of territories claim, boundaries created by Britishers are the cause of concern even today, right? Because people are, they claim territorial rights, but if there is something else, then people claim territorial rights, and this makes the cause of tension. Wahhabi movement. So we have discussed so many movements. So this is also important. Sayyid Ahmad of Raebareli, right? He is the leader. Inspiration by Islamic revivalist movement. Inspired by the teaching of Abdul Wahab of Saudi Arabia. So basically Saudi Arabia के Abdul Wahab movement से inspired था. Target initially 6, later English dominion. Wahhabis played important role in spreading an anti-British sentiments. Kuka movement is important. Kuka revolt. Basically, it is Sikh movement in Western Punjab. Leader is Bhagat Jawahar Mal. So Ramdhari Singh Kuka was the first leader was established for Bhagat Jawahar, and then Ramdhari Singh, I think it will be there, his name. So basically Its basic tenets were abolition of caste and similar discrimination among Sikhs, discouraging the consumption of meats and alcohols and drugs, permission for intermarriage. तो ये तो एक social reforms का idea था. And political science, Kuka wanted to remove the British and restore Sikh rule over Punjab. Punjab, we know that from the Britishers captured the territory after Anglo-Sikh war. और उसके बाद जो वहाँ के लोग थे, they wanted to get rid themselves from the Punjab. The concept of Swadesi and non-cooperation was propagated by Kukas. Right? So this was all about civil rebellion. Now we'll see peasants movement with religious overtones. Not much important. Pagalpanthis leader is Karam Shah. Okay, a semi-religious group mainly constituting the Hajong and Gara tribes of Masan Singh district earlier in Bengal to fight the oppression of the Zamidars. Right. So this is leader is Karam Shah. Indigo revolt, I don't think it is considered here. It is covered here, but we will cover in detail. Faraji movement, you just understand the name of the leader, Dadu Mian. Okay, Dadu Mian, and he was the follower of Muslim sect founded by Haji Sariyat Allah of Faridpur in eastern Bengal, to expel the English intruders from Bengal. Right, so you see, this is not time is not mentioned, but the separation between Hindu and Muslim is basically tried by British, and it was well established. People starting their own movement by Hindu, by Muslim, by Sikhs. Okay, so this religious cleavage was there already in the Indian society. Right, so it is a historical phenomena. Mopla Mopla rebellion uprising. Mopla is the region location Malabar, Kerala, causes hike in revenue demand, reduction of field size, operation of offices. This is important. Mopla uprising. 22 rebellions took place between 1836 to 1854. Right. So this is related to our revolts. Revolts related to what? Peasants, tribals, and civil and tribals है ना. We will see peasants revolt also. अभी tribals भी हम देखेंगे कि संथल revolt and मुंडा revolt, वो भी हम लोग next class में will cover. आज इस क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. Surat salt agitation happened due to raise the salt duty from 50 paise to 1 rupees. And the Wahhabi movement was essentially an Islamic revivalist movement founded by Abdul Wahhab. Which of the following is correct? So only one. The Wahhabi movement was Islamic revival by Sayyid Ahmad of Rai Bareli. This is important. Sayyid Ahmad of Rai Bareli. We have discussed just now. Right? So name Abdul Wahhab. So you might incline to mark it right because Wahhab related to Wahhabi, but this is not true. Wahhabi movement was established by Sir Ayyub Ahmad of Rai Bareli. Right? And this, if it is correct, so this is correct, you can note it down. Surat salt agitation, we have not covered it. Okay, so we cannot cover it also. There are multiple around 100 revolts took place, right, in different parts of the country. So if we start covering those revolts, so I don't think we will be able to cover other part of the syllabus. With reference to Sannyasi revolt, Sannyasis were joined by large number of dispossessed, small zamindars, disbanded soldiers and rural poor. Take one statement. Second, there was no role of women in the revolt. There was no role means extreme statement. Muslim did not participate in Sannyasi revolt. Warren Hastings was the Governor General during Sannyasi revolt. Okay, which of them is correct? Let us check. So only 1 and 4. Only 1 and 4. Right? Devi Chaudhrani, we have discussed. Devi Chaudhrani participated. So it cannot be said that no woman participated. Yeah, Devi Chaudhrani participated, and we discussed that Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay written a novel also named as Devi Chaudhrani. Muslim did not participate. This is also not true, right? And Warren Hastings was Governor General. So here you have to have the idea that when Sannyasi revolt took place, time of Sannyasi revolt, and then tenure of Warren Hastings. Warren Hastings, right? So you remember that he was there during 1773 Regulating Act, okay? And this Sannyasi revolt took place during this time itself, right? So from here, or let me so basically you have to have the idea of timeline also. This is important in history, general idea that which event took place when. That's why I keep on giving you the hint or asking questions. Like in 1828 we discussed that a home revolt took place, but at the same time this is the time when Brahma Samaj was established, right? So this kind of idea you need to have in your mind. Okay, so this is it. This is the end of the document. I think this is the end of our today's lecture also. We have covered all the detail related to general survey of socio reform movement and finally various revolts, right? Today we covered civil rebellion. Tomorrow we will, I think we will see, we will start with another topic, that is in next class we will start with foundation of Indian National Congress. If time will remain, then we will cover tribals and other revolts, because I have found it boring also, and you might also be, if you are seeing, because I don't see anybody online, so I don't know you are seeing or not, but it's kind of boring. Okay, so we will try to make it interesting, or we will try to cover it later on when we cover all the subjects, all the topics. In next class we will cover introduction or establishment of Indian National Congress. What were the what were the conditions of establishment, okay, why it was established, what were the theories behind the establishment, who were the people responsible for establishment of INC, and further what was the work done by INC, okay, and then it will be the start of National Indian Freedom Struggle, okay, and from there we will start, will end till 1947 when we got independence. Okay, so I hope you are enjoying our lecture. If you have any feedback, any opinion about teaching style, anything you want to tell, you can tell very easily. Okay, you can message us or you can comment, so we will try to improve it. And if you have any doubt, please ask. We will here to help you only. Okay, thank you very much.